to start this segment out, I'm going to pay it a little homage to maybe one of our favorite presidents. I don't know, you may know him. His name is President Trump. And I'm going to play a little clip from back when he used to have his White House press briefings and called out CNN. Check this out. Let's go to it.
And then,
so can I ask you a question?
what do you have? Go ahead. No, that's enough. Go ahead.
Can I ask? But that wasn't my question.
The problem is you don't write the truth. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I want to go to the next
Can I
one.
ask you a question about?
No, not CNN, please. Go
The
ahead.
White House has not
You don't.
responded to these
I told you.
allegations. From this
CNN is fake news. Don't talk to me. Go ahead, please.
But he says he was.
Thank you, good sir. We will always remember your blunt brutalness. I don't know how many people remember that, but holy cow,
What do you have?
glorious, glorious. Okay, so what happened is James O'Keefe, of course, let's see actually where it is trending now. See if it is still trending. Oh, well, I got to do explore. Let's see where it's trending. If it's still, it's number 3 now. All right, so it's up from 4 to 3, okay? But at the moment, it was 4. So James O'Keefe and Project Veritas, these guys basically blew the lid on CNN. I mean, it's not really surprising because they are just doing this kind of stuff non-stop. It's crazy. All right, so this is from projectveritas.com, and they actually got banned from Twitter because Twitter doesn't want people knowing about this kind of stuff. You know, of course, they got to get rid of it. Why they still let James O'Keefe on there? Because he's still dropping this stuff like it's hot. CNN director admits network engaged in propaganda to remove Trump from presidency. Our focus was to get Trump out of office. I came to CNN because I wanted to be a part of that. Ask yourself, though, are you really surprised? Are you really surprised? You know, part of the reason why I liked Trump, you know, when I made that huge viral video of me going, you know what, I follow the logic, I follow the truth, I watched what he was saying, I watched how the media reported on it, I looked at his actual policies, and then I looked at how the news media, CNN, reported on those exact same policies, making it seem like they were terrible for everybody, just like what's going on in Georgia. The new voter IDs is racist. No, it's not. Everyone has an ID. You're racist by thinking minorities can't get identification cards. Regular ID cards. Most human beings have it. Human beings. I don't care what race you are. Most people can get IDs. So is it really racist? No, it's not. It's not at all. It's just securing elections. Ooh, they're making it racist. No, they're making it secure. They're securing the elections so that we can make sure that everyone who votes is a proper citizen and registered and is who they say they are and also is alive. All right, good things. Good things. Well, CNN, here they're coming out. Yep, they made a point to really get. So there's a full interview here. All right, so I'm not going to read the full interview because it sums it up fairly decently in the bullet points here. CNN technical director Charlie Chester said, "Look what we did. We, CNN, got Trump out. I am 100% going to say it, and I 100% believe that if it wasn't for CNN, I don't think that Trump would have gotten voted out. I came to CNN because I wanted to be a part of that." It's insane. Chester continues, "Trump's hand was shaking or whatever, I think. We brought in so many medical people to tell a story that was all speculation. That he was neurologically damaged, that he was losing it. He's unfit to, you know, whatever. We were creating a story that we didn't know anything about. That's what I think. That's propaganda." He continues, "We would always show shots of him," meaning Biden here, "jogging and that he's healthy, you know, and him in aviator shades, like you paint him as a young geriatric, avoiding at all costs the fact that he was probably dementia-ridden and stumbling through his words, hiding behind the fact that they were claiming that it was some sort of stutter. No. I've watched many, many videos of this man speaking in Congress, all right, all the way up to when he was the VP, all right? speaking clearly, coherently, and with vigor. All right? He's not the same man. That is a shadow of him, his former self. Show him jogging? Sure, yeah, whatever. They continue. Chester again says, I think there's a COVID fatigue. So, like, whenever a news story comes up, they're, CNN, going to latch onto it. They've already announced in our office that once the public will be open to it, we're going to start focusing mainly on climate. Huh. Of course they are. Because fear sells, right? That's what a lot of YouTubers will use buzzwords and try to get you to clickbait, because they want to get as many people in and fear what it is, and I got to find out what it is. That's what CNN does. That's what other people do. I'm not going to name names because this is about CNN right now, but it works. People are afraid. That's why CNN is pushing the narrative of fear-mongering. You know, the vaccine. Oh my gosh. These anti-vaxxers are going to kill grandma. If you don't wear a mask, you're killing grandma. No mention of Cuomo literally killing grandma. Oh, CNN, you're not going to... Oh, right. Because it's a conflict of interest. Because they're brothers or whatnot. Of course, I'm talking about the Cuomo brothers that love to talk about how they really shouldn't be on the news together, but then, of course, exploit it as much as possible because they love the power. They love the attention, I guess. I don't know. All right, let's continue on this story, though. So it's going to be our focus. Like, our focus was to get Trump out of office, right? Without saying it, that's what it is, or that's what it was, right? So our next thing is going to be for climate change awareness. He continues, COVID, will taper off to a point that it's not a problem anymore. Climate change can take years, so they'll, meaning CNN, will probably be able to milk that quite a bit. They're going to milk it. Climate change is going to be the next COVID thing for CNN. Fear sells. There it is. That line right there. Fear sells. That's what it is. Now, this is the CNN technical director, Charlie Chester, being exposed. Now, this is all from his own mouth.
I think we got him through this term. We would always show shots of him jogging, him in aviator shades, and like you paint him as a young geriatric. We were creating.
They've got him just talking. Man, Project Veritas they're just beasts when it comes to this. They did it with Facebook. They did it with Google. They did it with countless different irregularities, we'll say, in the voting in different states. Wisconsin and Michigan were two that popped in my head. Georgia as well. Huh. Not really surprising. CNN. I mean, they're in every airport, or excuse me, were in every airport up until March of last month. So I actually just recently flew, and I saw, of course, last week with John Oliver, who gets 100% of his jokes and news from left-wing media. I used to think it was funny until I started realizing the truth about the news and how it was fake, and then I needed to find out the truth from people on the ground, people showing videos of what was actually happening, reading the bills, listening to the congressmen and their arguments, you know, really just cross-checking between different sources. It's a good way of doing it. Everyone is biased in some ways. And John Oliver, of course, lost its luster because his jokes aren't funny anymore. Because all I can think is like, yeah, but that's not true. So it was funny when I thought that he was telling the truth about all the news that he was reporting on. Granted, sometimes his reports are accurate, like when he was talking about the opioid crisis, which Trump made it a national emergency. Well, guess who changed that? That's right, President Biden, which CNN is now admitting that they helped get into office. Well, who else was pushing this propaganda? You know, we know for a fact China spent over $6 million in mainstream media news outlets 6 months going up to the election. Why isn't anyone talking about that? I've talked about it multiple times. But it's true. They spent over $6 million. Millions of dollars being pumped into our media. Why? Why is this allowed to... in an election year? What? Why? Why is that? How is that not some sort of espionage or manipulation from a foreign country? The forefathers feared that. In fact, many people have feared that throughout the entirety of our country, fearing foreign influence. We should be fearful of that because people can be bought. Scientists can be bought. Did you know that? Oh, follow the science. All right, well, who's going to be bought out and say, this is the science? I'm a scientist. Look, see, my title here says scientists, right? But then, you know, they have bank accounts and wants and desires as human beings can all succumb to greed. All. How are we going to stop it? You know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So shout out to Project Veritas. I'm going to spin the UFO for Project Veritas because they continue to fight for the truth, blasting it out there. And you know the mainstream media cannot stand Project Veritas. That's why they try to slander them all the time. That's why they have the wall of shame with the, what is it? The alpaca. I forget what is it? Let me see. Hold on. I'm on their website. Wall of Shame. Retracto. That's it. The Retracto alpaca. He even has its own theme song. I'm not going to play it right now, but it's hilarious. All right. So, yeah, here it is. The Wall of Shame. You know, I actually met James when he was here to do the Timcast show. Very nice guy. It was a pleasure to meet him.